Hey everybody, we're back. It's Wednesday, which means what? Which means it is time for the Wednesday word. First timers, let me just take a moment to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is David Bradley, Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Cardone. Now, what do we do on the Wednesday word? Very, very simple, not always easy. We take words out of the dictionary, words that could aid you in your quest for success. And that quest for success could be in sales, it could be in business, it could be in life, it could be anything. But if you want to be more successful, listen, the absolute first lesson I learned from Grant Cardone when I first got into the business, sales that is that selling is a conversation and power comes from the words that you use. There is so much power in words, in the words that we use. So it is very, very important that we understand those words, where they came from, what they actually mean, and then how can we incorporate, plug them into, and use them in our sales, in our business, and our life, right? Awesome. Okay, so this week's word is a very, very interesting word. It is a noun. It's got a definition because I'm going to go over that with you. I'm also going to talk about the history of this word, where it came from. Okay, and then we're going to look at 3 ways that you can implement and plug in this word into your sales and your business and your life. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so as I mentioned, this week's word is a noun. The word is progression. Okay, let's look at the definition. There's 3 definitions or 3 meanings for this word. The first, which is in my favorite, is this: the process of developing or moving gradually towards a more advanced state. Okay, the process of developing or moving gradually towards a more advanced state. Progression. Love that. Okay. However, additionally, it is a succession. It is a series. Okay. We're going to focus on the first one, but I also want to make sure that we got some attention on and we give some attention to a succession or a series. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we look at how are we progressing. Okay. Now, the history, the etymology of the word, the derivation, when you break it down, okay, starts out from late Middle English, then gets into a little French, older French, and then we have Latin. You ready for this part? Forward walk. When you break it down, pro, the word pro, the Latin root for pro means forward. Gradi, G-R-A-D-I, means walk. So when you talk about progress, when you talk about progression, it's about moving forward. And in this case, gradually towards a more advanced state. Now, I don't know if you know about, or I don't know if you know this about me, but I like lifting weights. More specifically, I like lifting Russian kettlebells. These are big, solid cast iron balls with handles on them, and you can swing them, and you can snatch them, and you can press them, and they're heavy. And one of my mentors within the kettlebell community is a man named Pavel Tsatsouline. And Pavel wrote a book called Power to the People. That book has nothing to do with kettlebells. I'm going to get back to that in a second. That book is about lifting heavy stuff, deadlifts, overhead presses, and in that, for you to get stronger, there is a progression to strength, right? You can't just make a decision that you want to suddenly deadlift 450 pounds, right? You have to progress to that, okay? Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is I want you to start thinking about that in terms of your skill set, your development, your progression as a salesperson, as a business person, as an entrepreneur. Okay, whatever it is that you do for a living, how are you progressing in the skill sets that are required to do what you do? Are you getting stronger in them, right? And your training in that area, you are doing some training, aren't you? Your training in that area should be a progression where you are gradually moving towards a more advanced state. Right? Makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little phrase here, and I would like you to take the phrase and really put some thought into it today, specifically on what this phrase means to you and how it applies to your world. not just your business world. Plug this into your personal life as well, maybe even your spiritual life. What does the phrase progress, not perfection, mean to you? What does the phrase progress, not perfection, mean to you? Okay, so that's your first little action idea. Just think about that for a second. Put some time in it. Do that today. Don't do it tomorrow, the next. Well, you can if you want, but I mean, just do that one today, okay? But for the rest of the week, here's what I'd like you to do for the next 7 days, okay? We have, in Grant's Cardone University, we have a program in there, a full course called 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. Guess how many segments are in that program? Correct. Inside that is broken down different micro courses. And one of the courses, the very first one, is a whole course on potential, meaning you getting closer to it, progressing. And there's an exercise that goes with it where Grant wants you to literally look at your potential and compare it with your current quota in life. So maybe someone has told you in your past to, go to college, get a nice, good job, buy a house, 2 cars in the garage, 1.5 kids. Maybe someone has told you that, and that is your quota. But what is your potential? What are you truly capable of? And so the question I want to have that I want you to work on this week is really understanding what you're doing every single day to progress towards what you're truly capable of, not some quota that you have in life. Okay? So remember, number 1, progress, not perfection. What does that phrase mean to you? Number 2, what are you doing every single day to move towards a more advanced state? In this case, your true potential. And then the third thing, since we are talking about progression, moving forward, moving towards a more advanced state, is there anything that might be holding you back, slowing you down? What's the word? Preventing your progression. Let's talk about that for a second. You ever try to drive with the e-brake on? You're like, man, I'm just not moving as well as I could be because, ding, fixed. Now you can go. Okay. So is there anything going on that has gone on that you're holding on to that is preventing you from progressing towards your full potential at maximum speed? The good news about that is that it's all in your head. And considering that you're in control of what goes on up there, you can actually do something about that. Grant's going to tell you that being stuck in the past or having moments from your past adhesions, preventing, stopping, what's the word? Impede. The word is impede. I-M-P-E-D-E. That may have to be another Wednesday word. But if there's anything from your past that is impeding, meaning what? Delay or prevent? By obstructing or hindering, okay? If there's anything that is impeding your forward progress towards a more advanced state, we need to handle that. And that's the best part about being in control about what's going on up here. So Grant says if you're stuck in the past, if there's something that's impeding you, well, the past is for psychos. It's for people who are insane. And since we're looking at definitions right here, okay, psychopath, psyche means the mind. Pathos means suffering. Okay, so if you're psychopathic, your mind is suffering. And if you're insane, in means not, sanus means well, so you're not well, and your brain is suffering. Okay, so Grant says this. He tells us that the rear view mirror, the windshield, I almost got it backwards. The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. Because you want to be looking forward. You want to be going forward, not stuck in the past. Okay? You want to put yourself and be in the future. You want to actually be in this place of moving towards a more advanced state. You want to be one step ahead with your attention on the future, not where you were. The data, and that's really what it is. Your past is data. It's information. It should not be an impediment. Okay, so I want you to think about some moments from your past. Think about things that are impeding your forward progress right now. What can you do to get a handle on those things? What can you do to take that data and maybe just set it down? And let it be data, okay? And not an impediment. Don't allow it to impede you, okay? So start thinking of some things that you can do with the information to take it from wherever it is in your brain right now that's holding you back, and maybe just refile it over here. Just get it over there, where it's information that you can use as a decision-making process and not this thing you gotta like weed and wade through and it slows you down like trying to drive with the e-brake on, okay? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the brakes off this week over the next 7 days. We're gonna put real attention on moving towards, at a high rate of speed, our true potential, okay? And we're gonna put more attention on progress and not perfection, okay? If I can help with any of these, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I'm David Bradley. This has been the Wednesday Word. My email address, david@grantcardone.com. My office line is 310-777-0352. It is an open line. You can call it anytime, any way I can be of service to you. And I'm going to leave you with the words of Grant Cardone, which is this: be great, because nothing else pays. Progress towards greatness. See you soon.